Eric Bischoff might be easy E, but according to himself, AEW is not an easy watch. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. And Eric Bischoff is not a big fan of AEW. Tell us something we didn't already know. We know Bischoff bashes AEW. We know that he doesn't necessarily like watching it, or like Tony Khan. But again, he was speaking about AEW programming this week on his podcast, Strictly Business, and he took it to the next level. He says that he struggles to watch AEW every week, and that he would rather chew his own arm off than have to sit down and watch 2 hours of AEW every Wednesday night. Now, I don't know if AEW is that bad. I think I would rather keep both my arms intact, but I get his point. It does suck. I don't enjoy watching 2 hours of AEW Dynamite. Then you factor in 1 hour of Rampage. Then you factor in 2 hours of Collision. Before you know it, you've got hours and hours and hours of AEW every single week. And it's 5 hours of not so good television. I'm just glad they don't have pay-per-views every single month, because that would add an extra 3 or 4 hours to the schedule, and that would make it pretty unwatchable. But that's what Eric Bischoff said on his podcast, Strictly Business, regarding watching AEW. He says, quote, "Do I watch the show every week? Fuck no. I'd rather chew my arm off than sit down for 2 hours of AEW. It's that bad creatively for me. But I do drop in, I do follow certain aspects of AEW that either I'm interested in or I want to better understand for the purpose of doing this show. For example," end of quote. Then his co-host John Alba pointed out that Bischoff bashes AEW but doesn't watch it regularly, which is I think fair enough. If you've watched it once, you probably don't need to watch it again to realise it's not very good. And Bischoff responded by saying, quote, "I don't have to watch the fucking product. I don't have to sit down and watch 2 hours. I've been in the business for a minute or two." End of quote. And you know what, I kind of agree with Eric Bischoff, but I'm not going to just say this is an AEW problem. I feel like there's a problem across the board with wrestling, and it just doesn't feel that important now to have to sit down every week and make sure that you watch every show, because no shows are any longer unmissable. There's no show that you think, oh, I cannot miss that. You look at AEW, it's almost like you don't need to watch the shows every single week, because there's not really any storyline, there's not really any continuity. It's basically just random matches. Nothing makes a lot of sense. You can watch AEW Dynamite, skip it for a couple of weeks, then go back to it, and you ain't missing much. And kind of with WWE, it's the same, but the opposite way about. It's like the stories in WWE are dragged out for so long. You get the same rematches every single week. You cannot watch WWE. You could watch Monday Night Raw and then skip it for a month, go back to it, and the likelihood is you're seeing the exact same matches, the exact same storylines and rivalries, and the exact same shit. It takes like 3 or 4 months. The big feuds now, they don't quickly move along. You maybe, if Cody Rhodes is, let's say Cody Rhodes is feuding with Nakamura, like 1 week Cody Rhodes might be on Raw, and he might not come face to face with Nakamura. The next week Nakamura might be on Raw, he'll cut a promo, he'll not get face to face with Cody, and then the next week Cody will respond. So you can like see 3 weeks of Raw, and the guys haven't even interacted with each other yet. And that happened a lot, especially when Brock was taking on Cody. Cody would come out every week and he'd cut the same damn promo on Brock Lesnar, because Brock Lesnar wasn't there. Like, why do you need to watch that every single week if it's the same thing happening? I mean, you don't. The Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era, good eras, it's like each feud kind of lasted like 4 weeks, because it kind of lasted to the pay-per-view, and then after that they'd sort of move on. Now some feuds did last 2. If it was a special occasion, it would maybe last 3 pay-per-views, but obviously something like McMahon-Austin lasted for a couple of years. But I mean, come on, it was like so quick, and then boom, 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 boom. 4 weeks, move on to the next one. Boom, 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 boom. 4 weeks, move on to the next one. You always had to watch every week, or else you're going to miss something big. And then you maybe check out the next week and everybody's moved on to a different opponent. I mean, now you're watching Raw and it's like the same people fighting each other for like 2, 3, 4 fucking months in a row. And AEW, like I said, it's just random matches. So I agree with Bischoff. You don't need to watch this shit every week, but I don't think it's just AEW. I think the same applies to WWE. I think you can apply the same logic. Anyway, guys, let me know, would you rather chew your own arm off Wrestling's not that bad. I mean, wrestling can damn near give you depression watching it, but I would rather keep both my arms intact. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.